lately there's been a lot of articles popping up around the media that express the idea that in the not too distant future there will exist a computer that you can transfer your consciousness to, and it's supposed to give you digital immortality and all these other really neat tricks. Um, and all they say that they need is a little bit more money to do more research, and then sometime in the future we'll get this magical computer to transfer our consciousness to. Even the rock star celebrity of mathematical physics, Stephen Hawking, has put his support behind the idea. According to him, this consciousness transfer is in fact possible. Uh, there are some people who are skeptical of this, as I found on a website I'll link below. But all of these skeptical critiques fall short of the mark. Um, they range from this type of transfer would be unethical, which doesn't even dispute the claim of possibility, to saying that panpsychism or the mind-body duality is actually real, and that these weird concepts are going to prevent us from transferring consciousness to computers. Now, on a side note, they admit panpsychism, which you can find in the link below. I'm not even going to talk about panpsychism in this video. But they admit that panpsychism is, or sounds, a bit new agey, which I find ironic because the entire notion of consciousness uploads or consciousness transfers are entirely new agey. The whole concept is religious to begin with, and I'll explain why in this video. See, the argument against this consciousness transfer is very simple. You can't move motion. Consciousness is a term referring to the abstract concept of the brain's internal atomic motion or activity. Actions cannot act. Motion cannot move. Only objects in reality can move. Transferring cannot be transferred. See, abstract concepts like consciousness, which really just refers to what your brain is doing, cannot do anything itself in reality, let alone get uploaded or transferred to a computer. Think of it this way. If I take a torch and light another torch on fire, I haven't transferred a combustion reaction, leaving me with these unanswerable questions like, oh, is it the same fire on both torches now? No, all I've done is taken one object in motion, which is the torch on fire, because a combustion reaction is really just a specific type of atomic motion and activity. I've moved the stick, which is a real object, next to another stick, and caused the other stick to move in a similar way. I can transfer the stick from my hand to a pile of sticks, but I never transfer the abstract concept of combustion reaction or energy. All of these figures of speech refer to is that one moving object is causing another moving object to move in a similar way. That's all that's really happening in reality. Because in reality, only objects can move, act, be transferred, etc. See, even when we put a CD or a USB into a computer, we're not transferring data. We're not transferring concepts. What's really happening is the magnetic motion of the CD is changing the magnetic motion of the computer. That's all that's happening. It's two objects causing each other to move in different ways. We're not transferring concepts here. So when you think about the brain in motion, in a specific activity called consciousness, then we might be able to have a computer replicate the same type of motion, but you'll never be able to transfer consciousness to a computer. They might be acting in the same way, but you'll never be able to become the computer because you are your brain's activity. No matter what, even if something else is doing the same thing, replicating it exactly, it will never be you because you are your brain and your brain is in motion, and that is consciousness. That is your consciousness. After your brain stops moving, you die. You have no more consciousness. Your consciousness stops. Just like when you're running down the street and your legs stop moving, your run stops. You don't transfer your run to something else. You can't possibly do that because it is a specific object moving in a specific way. You can't move motion. You can't transfer concepts. People still can't get this straight, but I honestly don't blame them. They've been sold this confusion for a very long time. See, mathematical physicists have been in the business of irrationally transferring energy, charges, fields, forces, and other abstract concepts because they aren't sure exactly what is really moving down at the atomic level. These irrational descriptions have opened the door for all kinds of religious crap, including the topic today of consciousness transfer. I mean, just look at the motivation for this religious nonsense. It's the same as any religion ever was. Whether you're praying to God to get into the eternal bliss of heaven, searching for the Holy Grail and eternal youth, or trying to upload your mind to a computer for eternal digital existence, which is a contradiction, by the way. Humans have a really hard time coming to grips with the fact that they're going to die someday, so they're always searching for a religious answer for eternal life. And this fear, of course, leads them to irrationality. You simply cannot think straight when you're terrified. But if you can think rationally, and you can understand that only objects move in reality, and that it's impossible to transfer a concept, then come join in discussions like this on our Rational Scientific Method group on Facebook. We will be waiting for you.